Today we will hear from the members for the districts of Virginia Waters-Pleasantville, Topsail-Paradise, Fogo Island Cape Freels, Burin-Grand Bank, and Harbour Main. The Honourable, the member for Virginia Waters-Pleasantville.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in this Honourable House today to acknowledge the great work of East Point Elementary staff and to say a big hello to the students and teachers tuning in to the broadcast today. The school community always goes above and beyond for their students, and the wonderful Rooting for Health breakfast that was put off last week was no exception. Rooting for Health is a program across our province which highlights the importance of the relationship between farms, food, and health. In a partnership with Kids Eat Smart Foundation, Newfoundland and Labrador Federation of Agriculture, Egg Farmers of Newfoundland and Labrador, and School Milk Foundation Newfoundland and Labrador, students were given a breakfast prepared all from local products such as eggs, milk, and berries. Following breakfast, displays were given from each group, including a mock milking station and a live goat. Students had the opportunity to ask questions and learn the importance of eating local. Rooting for Health is celebrating its 9th year of educating school-age children in this fantastic initiative. It is important to show children, and adults too, that healthy, organic eating can start right here at home. Newfoundland and Labrador has many great things to offer, and I commend the organizers and the staff of East Point Elementary for incorporating Rooting for Health into our children's education. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for the District of Topsail-Paradise.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we live in a province that is strongly populated with people who give and people who do for others. Last Saturday night, I was invited and happy to attend a dinner in Carbonear where the Maisol Shriners honoured the Newfoundland and Labrador Shriner of the Year, Noble John Crane of Upper Island Cove. John Crane has been a long-time Mason and Shriner and was noted to never shy away from his commitment to helping children by supporting the Shriners bingo, ticket sales, auctions, and any fundraising event they held. Mr. Crane was made a lifetime member of the Shrine Club in 2016. He was honoured for a lifetime of giving to his church, his community, his province, and his country as a town councillor, as mayor, 65-year member of the Orange Lodge, including having held a position as Grand Master of the Orange Lodge of Canada, as well for being married to his lovely wife Leah for 60 years and having raised 6 children. Mr. Crane also served as a member of this Honourable House from 1989 to 1996. So I ask all members of this Honourable House to join me in congratulating John Crane and thanking him for his service to his community.
The Honourable, the member for the District of Fogo Island, Cape Freels.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It gives me great privilege to rise in this Honourable House and celebrate a milestone and bring greetings to Miss Mary Pickett of Jobet's Arm on Fogo Island. She was born in St. John's on the 6th day of February 1918. She married Frank Pickett on June 1940. Together they had 5 children: Lucy, Catherine, Augustine, deceased, Patrick, and Madonna. And these guys brought forward 30 grandchildren and 6 great-grandchildren. Sadly, her husband Frank passed away in 1978. Mrs. Pickett continued to live in her own home until 2010. Her sense of humour is second to none, and her memory is as sharp as a tack. Her favourite response whenever anyone asks her age is, "I got to this age because I never drank or had a smoke in my life." There was an open house to celebrate their birthday on February 6th, where numerous family and friends visit her. Please join me in wishing Mrs. Mary Pickett of Jobet's Arm a belated 100th birthday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable, the member for Burin-Grand Bank.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, though March 12th marked the 9th anniversary of Cougar Flight 491 crash, for all who attended the memorial service Monday evening at St. Mary the Virgin Anglican Church, the outpouring of emotions and community spirit will forever be etched in our memories, Mr. Speaker. We all know the details of the tragic event, but details alone do not tell the full story, Mr. Speaker. Rather, the story continues to be told excuse me, on the tear-stained faces of the family members and friends of the 17 individuals who lost their lives that fateful day. For me, Mr. Speaker, the tragedy touched close to home as I saw my first cousin Wanda and her daughters Taylor and Jenna Wade devastated with the loss of their dear father and husband, Wade Drake of Fortune, originally from Lord's Cove. The tragedy, Mr. Speaker, also took the life of Birch Nash of Marystown, originally from Fortune in my district of Burin-Grand Bank, where his parents, Harold and Marjorie, still reside. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about the price of oil, we should always be cognizant of the price paid by the brave men and women who lost their lives while earning a living in this industry. Mr. Speaker, I ask all honourable members to join me in once again remembering the victims and the families of Cougar Crash Flight 491. Thank you.
The Honourable the Member for the District of Harbour Main.
Mr. Speaker, it is a great pride today that I rise to recognize Wayne Miller, a member in my district who was recently awarded the Order of Newfoundland and Labrador. I had the pleasure of joining Mr. Miller at Government House while he accepted his award. Mr. Miller joined the Canadian Armed Forces in 1961, where he served as a regular force member until his honourable retirement in 1991. Mr. Miller has volunteered and dedicated countless hours to our community as an active member of the United Nations Peacekeepers Association, working closely with a number of local high schools towards the implementation of the Junior Peacekeeping Award, which is designated to make Newfoundland and Labrador school children aware of the bridge and the connections to the sacrifices of past and present Canadian Armed Force members, particularly Native Newfoundland and Labrador servicemen and women. Still to this day, Mr. Miller serves as an association of the Signals Club of Canada, the Veterans of Canada, and the Executive Board of number 50 of the Royal Canadian Legion. He created the Veterans and Family Communion Covenant, the first of its kind in Canada, and serves as the chairperson of the CBS Monument of Honour Committee. For his considerable efforts and his work to honour veterans and recognise Newfoundland and Labrador's military legacy, I asked all members to join me in recognising his investment into the Order of Canada. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.